How's it going, guys? I am Patty Jack, and oh mama, to steal a quote from I Hate Everything, this is gonna be an interesting one. So we have some updates to the Steam customer review system now. So this is going to be a whole different thing that's been going on. It's kind of annoyed a lot of people who are content creators and reviewers, both on the critic side and on the more casual, like we just do this for a hobby side. Now, I'm in the kind of unique situation where I'm on both sides to this one. I do, I just said do, ha, that's funny. I do both critic reviews and casual reviews, so this is a little bit weird to me, so I've got a few different opinions than I think a lot of other people will. But what we're going to do is go through a bunch of them and just kind of talk about these recent changes and everything, so let's go ahead and do that. If you don't know about these changes and stuff, I'll give you a brief overview here, but this is all over on the Steam website, so go check it out. Basically, what this says, and what you're seeing right now, is a switch up to how reviews are scored and what reviews are counted towards the score on Steam store pages. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Steam scores in general are a great thing, because they're broken as hell and they have been for a long time, but it's kind of limiting the ability for a lot of users to be able to post and have their scores and the reviews counted towards the overall product review for a game. So what's happened now is that only people who have purchased the Steam game on Steam officially can actually have their review score counted towards the overall general review score for the game. And what that means is anyone who got an activation key for the game from any other source that's not directly through Steam do not have their scores counted towards this. And that poses a lot of problems, because basically, if a developer sends a guy like me a code, which I do get for certain indie games and stuff, or if I, say, review a bunch of different games, then what that means is if I don't get the code through Steam, don't pay for it, then even if I review a game and it's like counted on Metacritic, then it won't count towards the overall Steam score for that game. It also means that if you got the game, say, on a place like G2A for some goddamn reason, or a website like greenmangaming.com, or even on like a Humble Bundle or something like that, if it came with a code that you put into Steam, over in like the Steam like games thing, activate a product in Steam or whatever, right, then that means that you can't count your review score to the overall score of that game. And that poses a lot of problems for a lot of people like me, and we're going to go and see exactly why here. So we're over here right now on a page for the recently released game, the Turing Test, and I played through this game and did a review for GameWatcher.com, which you can go check out right now. It's over on the website, but we'll get to that in a second. And right now it's got 403 counted reviews with a 90% overall score. Now, here's the thing. Even though I'm a critic and I have written a full review for this game, and it's actually counted over on Metacritic, so that score right there, that is actually counted with my review in it as well. So I can get counted on Metacritic and have it counted in this little box here, but because of these new settings, if I wrote a review because I received this product for free through a Steam key from GameWatcher.com, if I were to write a review for Steam, it would not count towards this score. Now, do you see the problem with that? The big problem with that is that a person who does do reviews at a, well, professional level, I assume if I write a review and it's counted on Metacritic, as ballsy of a website that Metacritic might be, if it considers the review I wrote to be worthy of a critic review, that means professional. So professional critic reviewer and writer, or video creator, content creator like me, can create this review, have it counted on Metacritic, but not be able to count it over on the Steam store page. Doesn't that kind of devalue any reason for me as a person to actually write up a good thought out review on the Steam store page and try to, like help consumers like buy a product that they probably want to buy? Now the thing is, when you go to the Steam page, you can now sort it through Steam purchasers and key activations, and if you go through Steam purchasers, you get the general reviews and everything, and then you go over to key activations. There's 58 of them. If I were to write a review, it would be counted over there, but it wouldn't go to the overall score. There's less of them, and it doesn't automatically show my review. Now the thing is, since I am an actual critic, I don't have any problem in saying that a review that I write might be a little bit more helpful in general than a review from people who just bought the game and, you know, put in like one-word answers making memes about like a dead gorilla or something, you know what I mean? Now the thing with the Turing Test specifically is that the reviews are actually pretty good, because it's the type of game that wouldn't really attract the type of crowd that would just, you know, spout memes all over the place. And I gotta say, there's not a huge difference between the reviews in the Steam purchases and the key activations. Now the problem with the key activations as well is that it doesn't just touch on and prevent critics from being able to have their opinions counted towards the final score, but anyone who got it from any other website as well. So let's talk about that for a second. If I bought this game over on, say, Green Man Gaming, or like I said earlier, got it through a Humble Bundle, played it and wanted to review it, I could post the review, but it would end up in this section as well and not be counted towards the overall score. Now, what's the reason to get it on another website other than Steam? Well, there are many reasons. Some people have a personal preference in where they get their games, and if it is through a game like Green Man Gaming or something like that, they can have their own sales as well, and then obviously Humble Bundles give you very discounted ways to purchase a lot of really cool indie games. However, if you buy a game and you play it on the Steam platform, in my opinion, you should be completely entitled to write an opinion and have it actually counted towards the final product. Now, there's Idiotech Gaming, what do you know? That's really coincidental, you just talked about this earlier. That's hilarious. Because at the end of the day, even though I got the Turing Test as a free activation, I'm still playing it on Steam as a platform, therefore I'm playing the exact same version of the game as everyone else. Now, what is the reason that Steam would do this? Why would you need to separate these things from each other? Well, in Steam's defense, and what they're saying, is that in an analysis of games across Steam shows that at least 160 titles have a substantially greater percentage of positive reviews by users that activated a product with a CD key compared to customers that purchased the game directly through Steam. So what this means is that they will give you a free game in return for a guaranteed positive review of it. I mean, to many people, that's a very compelling thing to want to get and strive for. If you can get free stuff in return for just saying, hey, I like this. I mean, I don't know if you'd want a free game that sucks just so you can say it's good, but, you know, that's beyond me, but that's not really the point. Now, they say that 160 titles, at least, there could be more, we don't know how many more there could be, have been doing this. And they may not have exact numbers, I don't have exact numbers, but 160, roughly, if this is what they are officially saying, this was in, like, in the document, in the blog post, then is that really a big deal? Now, I get it, like, 160 games that have a substantially, possibly doctored review score is kind of a big deal. But there's how many thousands of games on Steam, you're always going to have a few bad apples in there, and what they've done here is completely ruined it for everyone else. Alright, so let's go take a look at a few games and see how this is kind of affecting what their overall score is. So we're going to look at good old Black Ops 3. I bought the little starter pack edition for this, I played it for an hour, and I was like, yo, this game's kind of fun. Probably not going to go back to it, but that's neither here nor there. So here we go, let's go over to... Okay, we have 27,669 Steam purchaser reviews and then 16,630 key activations. Those 16,000 reviews are not going to be counted towards the overall review score of this game. Do you see how that could potentially be a problem? That's over half of the same amount of Steam purchasers there, so that could be drastically affecting the overall score of the game. Now, is this one of the 160 games that has been trying to up its review score? Well, A, it's Call of Duty, and I don't think Activision would do that, and B, it's got mixed reviews. So, does that even make any sense? If they did that, it sure as hell didn't work. So let's go in here and see the difference in reviews as well, see if there's any actual difference. So here we go with the first review from Cake is Gaming, who's my friend actually. God damn it, dude. And he just says it's good. Super helpful. This review, Cake, you idiot, is counting towards the overall Steam review score of the game. Alright, now let's go to the key activations instead and go see what the dealio is. So, here's the thing about this. When you go to key activations for a game of this size, you're going to get people who bought the game via other means, maybe on Green Man Gaming or through another online store. You know, that's what's going to happen. So you're going to get a lot of similar things. Things like this guy who says, nice game, smiley face, no space in between it. That bothers me more than it should. But anyways, you're going to see really crappy reviews. However, there's going to be actual reviews in this somewhere. Like this one. Look at this. You know, this is a nicely written out review. He got the product for free somehow, so maybe he put a review up somewhere, or maybe he just managed to get the product somehow. And he explains that his first FPS was Team Fortress 2. Then he goes in to talk about the actual gameplay and everything. You know, it's an okay review. It's totally fine. Now, the problem is, this review is not being counted towards that overall score. Why not? Because he got the game somewhere else than the Steam store? How does that make any sense? It doesn't make it any different than, say, a thought-out review that's over on the regular Steam purchases either. So, if the problem is, if people who bought the game somewhere else just happen to not like it as much, and there's no correlation between where they bought the product, because that would make no sense, then it can really affect how the game is scored on Steam. And the other problem is, literally any critic, like myself, who actually puts up legitimate reviews and then posts them on Steam, like I do occasionally, they won't have their actual reviews counted towards the product review on Steam. And the big problem is, if I get any game through a key that a developer gives me, or anyone else who's a critic, or a YouTuber, or someone who actually, makes reviews, and has them well thought out, and explains themselves, and they got the game, they didn't buy it directly through Steam, then anything that they post through the key activations category, no matter how well thought out their review is or anything like that, will never be counted towards this final score. And the problem is, anyone who's worth their weight in views or anything is more than likely going to get a key activation instead of buying it directly through Steam. So over in the key activations section, we have this mix of people who are doing the general reviews, they just bought it off a different website, and people who are actually posting legitimate review content. Whereas over on the Steam purchasers, that ratio is going to be way more in favor of people that just bought the game, and then they're going to post some really crappy review, like this one. I mean, this tells you nothing other than what this guy's personal preferences are. For all you know, this guy just really, really likes zombies and doesn't like multiplayer as much, or doesn't like single player, you know? There's no reasoning for it, and you're more likely to find that if you go over to the key activation section, because you might find someone who actually, reviewed the game properly. This is ridiculous. It's really, really stupid. I can't fathom what the deal with this is. Why wasn't this thought out anymore? Why not just have another section saying key activations? You could just put it literally right in between there. You make this put a little extra space there, go into the coding, press enter, and put key activations. Then put mixed again, because it seems to be pretty even across the board. It makes no sense. God damn it.